What happens when a pastor's daughter, raised to follow the right path, finds herself caught up in a world of bad friends, dangerous choices, and a life that almost destroyed her? Hey guys, grab your popcorn as we dive into this very interesting story that will leave you wanting to hear more. But before we go on, I want to seize this opportunity to appreciate my amazing subscribers. Thank you guys for your support. I do not take any of it for granted. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. God bless you all for me. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please take a moment and hit the subscribe button for me, please. It's free. Also turn on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, thank you. Now let's begin. Long ago, in the eastern part of Nigeria, lived a young girl called Mercy. Mercy was the pride of her father, Pastor Elijah, a man that is highly respected and admired by many for his wisdom and integrity. Known across the region for his devotion to God and his commitment to preaching the truth, Pastor Elijah had one dream for his daughter, that she would become a medical doctor and use her skills to serve humanity. He had raised her in the way of the Lord, teaching her to fear God, to walk in the light, and to never stray from righteousness. But Mercy, his beloved daughter, though very intelligent and bright, was a storm in his calm, a weapon fashioned against him. Though she wore the image of the perfect pastor's daughter, deep inside her heart burned a rebellious desire. She longed for freedom, to experience life outside the strict boundaries of her father's rules. When she gained admission into Lagos University to study medicine, her father rejoiced, believing this was God's will. Little did he know, university life was about to tear Mercy away from everything he had taught her. Stepping into the bustling city, Mercy felt a rush of excitement. The campus was a new world, vibrant, chaotic, full of possibilities. Unlike her hometown, where her father's reputation followed her everywhere, here she was free. No one knew her as Pastor Elijah's daughter. She could reinvent herself and share the image of the obedient church girl. Yes! I am finally out of that frustrating village where I can't even cough without being noticed. Oh yes, I know I am here to study, but please let me breathe some fresh air. It is not easy being a pastor's daughter, you know. Let me raise a glass for my newfound life. Cheers, she said, feeling excited. One day, while sitting in the campus canteen, she met a young lady named Cynthia. Cynthia was everything Mercy wasn't: bold, stylish, and unbothered by anyone's opinion. She was drawn to Cynthia's carefree attitude and soon found herself under her wing. They got talking and gradually became friends. Cynthia invites her to hang out, introducing her to the glamorous side of university life: parties, designer clothes, and flashy cars. Mercy's curiosity began to overpower her caution. It wasn't long before Mercy attended her first party, an event at a high-end club filled with older men and wealthy students. She was dazzled by the luxury, the loud music, the expensive perfumes, and the fast life that had always seemed so distant. It was here that she met Tony, a man in his late 30s who had money to burn and a smooth way with words. He noticed Mercy's innocence immediately and singled her out, showering her with compliments. Tony promised her a life of ease, far from the struggles her father always warned about. Why stress yourself with books when life can be this sweet? He whispered, placing his hand gently on her back. always make yourself available to me, honey, and you will never regret it. Mercy knew she was walking on a dangerous ground, but the temptation was strong. Cynthia encouraged her, saying, "This is what university is about. Mercy, enjoy your life, oh. Life is too short." As the weeks passed, Mercy found herself more and more entangled in Tony's world. He began sending her gifts, expensive bags, jewelries, money, all of which filled the void of excitement she had been seeking. She started skipping lectures, preferring to spend time with Tony at fancy restaurants and private beach houses. The thrill of this new life was intoxicating, and she pushed thoughts of her father and her studies to the back of her mind. Her grades began to slip, but she convinced herself that she would catch up. After all, Tony and Cynthia were right. There was plenty time to study later. For now, she wanted to live in the moment. Back at home, Pastor Elijah was proud, believing his daughter was excelling in school and making him proud. But the reality was different. Mercy barely attended lecture anymore. Her professors grew concerned. Her classmates noticed her absence, and her once bright future started to look dim. Yet, Mercy was too deep into the fast life to care. The luxury, the attention, and the parties consumed her. But she began to notice something unsettling. Tony was becoming possessive, even controlling. He would demand to know where she was at all times, scolding her for spending time with anyone else, especially her male classmates. Cynthia, too, seemed different, more distant and secretive. Mercy tried to push the thought aside, but deep inside, she knew things were not as glamorous as they appeared. One evening, after another night out with Tony, Cynthia invited Mercy to meet some of her special friends. "These guys run things around here," she said, flashing a mysterious smile. When Mercy arrived, she found herself in a room filled with men much older than the typical university crowd. Their eyes lingered on her, making her uncomfortable. It was then that Cynthia revealed the truth. These men were part of a secret cult that had influence over everything that happened on campus. Mercy was shocked but intrigued. Cynthia explained that joining them would guarantee her protection, money, and power. "Everyone who matters on campus is connected to them," she said. "They can make your life easier, Mercy." Mercy hesitated, feeling her conscience tug at her. She had grown up hearing her father warn about the dangers of the world, about losing one's soul for the sake of temporary pleasure. But here she was, standing on the edge of the very abyss her father preached against. Joining the cult would mean giving up the last shred of her innocence. But the promise of power was tempting. Cynthia assured her it was safe. "You are already living the life. This is just making sure nothing gets in your way," she said. But deep down, Mercy knew there was always a price to pay, and she wasn't sure she was ready to find out what it was. Mercy lay awake that night, her thoughts racing. The offer to join the cult echoed in her mind. She was already part of a life her father would disown her for. But joining a cult? That was a different level. She thought of her father, Pastor Elijah, praying for her every night, believing she was staying focused on her studies. But at the same time, the allure of power pulled her in. The next day, Mercy decided to confront Cynthia. "Babe, are you sure this is safe? I mean, joining a cult, Cynthia. she asked, her voice barely hiding her fear. Cynthia rolled her eyes. Oh, please, Mercy. You are already halfway in. Do you think all these parties, these men, and all this money come without strings attached? You can't back out now. It's all connected. For the first time, Mercy began to feel trapped, like the luxury she had enjoyed was a cage she couldn't escape from. But I just wanted to live a little, she whispered. Cynthia's cold smile only made it worse. You are living, girl. But don't forget, every choice comes with a price. Mercy tried to focus on her studies again, but it was almost impossible. Her phone buzzed constantly with messages from Tony, Cynthia, and new friends she had made in the circle. Tony grew more and more demanding, insisting that she spend more time with him and less on her stupid schoolwork. Why do you want to struggle like those broke students? He mocked during one of their dinners. Stick with me, girl, and you will never have to worry about exams or anything. I will take care of it. Mercy felt a sinking feeling. It was becoming clear that Tony was not just offering gifts. He was offering a lifestyle, one that came at the cost of her freedom. The parties became darker, the faces more dangerous, and she began to see things that disturbed her. Young girls like her, looking lost, empty. She started noticing how some of them disappear without a trace. One afternoon, as she walked to the next lecture, her first in weeks, Chika, an old friend from church, stopped her. Chika had heard the rumors about Mercy's new life, but hadn't seen her to confirm them. Mercy, is it true? Have you stopped coming to class because of a man? Chika asked, her eyes filled with concern. Mercy laughed nervously. No, it's not like that. I've just been busy. Chika wasn't convinced. I have seen it happen to other girls, Mercy. They get caught up in these rich men's lives and end up dropping out of school. Please be careful. This isn't who you are. Remember, you're a pastor's daughter. Mercy didn't know what to say. For a moment, she thought about confessing everything to Chika, telling her about Tony, Cynthia, and the cult offer. But she stopped herself. What if Chika judged her? Or worse, what if she told her father? Chika's word echoed in her mind as she walked away though. This isn't who you are. Was it too late to turn back? Things took a sharp turn when Tony called Mercy late one night. His tone was no longer charming, but cold and demanding. Meet me at the club now, he ordered. Mercy was hesitant. She had already begun distancing herself from him, trying to avoid his constant attention. But Tony wasn't the kind of man you could just walk away from. When she arrived, Tony was seated in a private lounge, his face turned. I have done a lot for you, Mercy, he said, his voice low but filled with menace. Now it is time you show some loyalty. Mercy's stomach twisted in knots. What do you mean? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He leaned forward, his eyes locking with hers. You are joining our group, Mercy. There is no backing out. You owe me. She felt the walls closing in. Tony, I didn't ask for all this. I just... Enough! He snapped, slamming his hand on the table. You are in it now. The sooner you accept it, the better. Will Mercy's pursuit of freedom and acceptance lead to her ultimate downfall? Or will she find a way to reclaim her life before it's too late? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the choices that could change everything. Thank you for watching and see you in the next part.